You know, it's quite amazing what one little tech choice can actually do to the market. Make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. So why we've been sitting here, you know, the OCG is getting slammed with probably one of the craziest sets of the year. And over the weekend, I will take a look and see how that set is stepping up and actually seeing here. But there's been some talk about Synchro Fusionist this weekend as like an upcoming tech choice because of what this card is capable of doing. Now, this is a spellcaster monster you can actually bring out off of the curtain that says, hey, you know, if this is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can add a spell card from your deck to your hand with polymerization or fusion in its card name, and then you kind of start to fire the neurons inside of your brain, and you're like, oh, this is actually really, really good. And the OCG's been starting to clamor up for this really, really, really nicely. Now, I mean, looking at what's available, I mean, a lot of damaged and heavy play copies on the market. You do eventually hit like some $1, $2 copies, the 30 centers with the, you know, the $1.31 shipping. But in terms of your sales data here, just take a look at this, man. Somebody just bought damaged ones for 40 cents a piece. I'm wondering if they truly know. But the curtain only makes it so that special summoned monsters can't apply those effects. But what you're dealing with here is a tech choice that actually can go beyond these doors and is actually meant to actually kind of get you some advantage. So keep an eye on this. This seems like a pretty big one that might be impacting things over the course of the weekend here. Junk Speeder. Are you guys really serious about this? The Zero TK popped up over the weekend, or, you know, over the week here. And we started to see, oh boy, you know, Junk Speeder's kind of getting into that dangerous territory here, you know. When a card is able to do as much as Junk Speeder is, especially with the new Synchro Emergency Trap card that basically just allows you to kind of pivot into, you know, some of the most broken boards that you can kind of think of. This is not going like too extremely south, but it's enough that, you know, I want you guys to be aware of what's going on. You know, knowledge is power in these sort of situations. So it does look like we do have a wee little bit of market shiftability. Nothing I would say is too crazy, but kind of keep an eye on this. 33 listings is getting a little bit down there. But the thing is, like, this card has a lot of niche rarities. Oh, okay, goodbye, Junk Speeder. I greatly appreciate you. Well, RIP to Junk Speeder. All right, the Jet Synchron. This is another one that's, I guess, been doing some of the loop-de-loops. I love when we can see the top end of the market presenting this at $135, but $30. You do eventually start to gradually, you know, head up here. Now, in terms of your data, I mean, you've had a very few amount of these moving. This is going to be one of those things that's like, people are going to need to sit down and actually look at how these new cards are going to impact the OCG. You know, are they going to impact things on the level of, oh crap, you know, I've got to go pick up Jet Synchrons suddenly? I mean, that could be your thing. Obviously, I mean, 87 on the extreme versions. OTS is pretty cheap, but you know, the one that you're going to want to focus in on is the highest rarity one. But once again, though, this is kind of the cool thing about the market. Konami's reprinted some of these versions into the ground. You know, you don't have to pick up the super high rarity version to be able to compete. All of the low rarity versions all functionally allow you to do the exact same thing, which is kind of nice. We have been watching this card like a hawk because, you know, we do have this next set coming out. The next set is going to set us up for the opportunity to be able to rotate into this stupid little card and basically be able to jam the opponent out of playing the game. Because guess what? On Special Summon, Tribute a Monster, your opponent cannot activate monster effects this turn. You know, the fact that Konami has made cards that basically allow you to toggle into the opponent's turns and basically deny them the chance from playing the game is pretty incredible. And I mean, once again, you've got cheaper listings of this kind of coming through here. $6 to $7 a piece. I think this is the good part, right? Like when people start to repopulate, flood down the market, you know, if this card does take off, I mean, there's $7 to $8 a piece right now. It's a lot better than the former like $12, $13 that we were seeing. So kind of keep an eye on this one so we can keep monitoring the market. Eldlich, the Mad Golden Lord. What did I miss with this thing? Why are we down to 22 listings of this? Is it just because it's from Blazing Vortex? I don't necessarily think Blazing Vortex is a set to really, scoff at and go, this is broken, but maybe there is something to this. $8 heading on up to 10s. I mean, even heading up to 11 is a little bit absurd. I mean, what's our sales data? Oh boy, would you look at that. Suddenly a lot of these are starting to move. Well, I don't know what you want me to say, man. It's even really funny, too, because the other version of this also is down to 52 listings. Good old Eldo Nego. Terrible set. But yeah, look at all these versions of this moving around. There is something happening right now in the Eldlich department. Maybe it's Pumpkin. I'm not exactly sure. I gotta actually see some things slap me in the face to, actually see where we're going here. So, looks like this one has got some hype. We'll have to wait and see, though, where we're going. The Maze of Muertos. Oh, boy. 3 listings for the Dark Magician of Destruction. Didn't you guys know this card's getting bought out right now? Am I surprised and crapping on the floor? No, not at all, actually. What I'm actually surprised about is this didn't happen sooner. I will say I am glad to see Source Secrets of Dark Magic here coming back down. This card hitting $90 was one of the funniest things we've seen in a while. Boxes still holding at that $70 range. And then this is where the damage is. Right now, the Dark Magician of Destruction has actually hit the $68 range. This is actually really, really bad for the market right now. These were 42 a day or so ago, and we were kind of laughing at this. It'll go down, I said. Yeah, well, evidently I was wrong. The meta is starting to realize, oh, hey, we can splash Diabellstar into all of these different decks. And if we're splashing Diabellstar, well, suddenly, things are looking a lot more enticing. So it looks like $68 a box. Gaze of Timaeus coming in at $51. What a shocker. Dark Magical Circle, $60, man. $43 on the Illusion Gate Collector's Rares, $35. Mass changes are down to $36 right now, which is still decently a lot. Uriahs are down to 33s. This card just kind of continues to crash down. The problem is like we didn't get the cool version of it. I don't really blame people for looking at this and just kind of not being interested in it. It's just, I don't know, it's not appealing. $30 versions of the Thunder Giant. Looks like Timaeus Collector's Rares coming in 25s. Menkonko Noble Twins are down to 16s. Gaze of Timaeus, these $30 still. It's crazy because you need this in the Dark Magician, which is basically a $100 DLC package now to play the deck. Or to even say play the deck. To splash it into as a sub-engine. $27 copies of Dominuses. Menkonko Alt Arts, these are down to 20 again. That's good. Ectoplasmic Fortifications are 20s. Call the Haunteds are also still $54. What a meme. Dark Laws recovering back down to 23, which is good. There's those $17 Illusion Gates and still kind of going. Dark Reba still 14. That's hilarious. Chronicle Sorceress, $14. What a terrible card, man. Pump Kings are still $10. I mean, I guess. Furnaces are back down to 7s. That's also really nice. Okay. So I will say overall, though, there's a decent amount of recoverability happening in the set. Albion's not a quadrillion-dollar card anymore, which is nice. The Noble Twins is getting a little bit cheaper, but I think we're doing pretty decent here. This one also kind of caught my attention. Have I missed something with Victoria recently that has caused this card to spawn up to $100, $120, $220 on near mint? Because, you've got a decent, you can buy there's a light play on them here for $7, another one for $8. But then, when you start to get into, near mints and things like that, that's where you really start to accelerate up into stupid amounts of money. I don't know. To be fair, anything that has Stardust Overdrive slapped on it is usually going to go bonkers. That's just been the trend that we've been facing for a little while here, and I don't know why. It's another day in the market, to say the least. But what do you guys think about everything? I'm pretty intrigued with how things are going right now. Maybe not in the greatest sense of the word, but we're definitely going places. So leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons! Thank you! Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.